Hello, Queen, and welcome back to the podcast for our very first podcast challenge. I am so excited. The Pageant Gal podcast has been around for just over 10 months now, and we've never done a podcast challenge. And this is something that I'm inspired to do, and I'm inspired to call the Queen's Takeover Podcast Challenge. And it's going to go live all throughout the month of November for my podcast listeners and my gals who are here. That's you listening to this here and now. And I'm going to share with you in this episode what to expect, how to participate, the prizes, what's up for grabs, and all of those things that you can expect throughout this month. So first of all, why are we doing a challenge? Why are we doing the Queen Takeover Challenge throughout the podcast in the month of November? Well, first and foremost, if you know me, you know that I have an allergic reaction to staying comfortable and staying in my comfort zone and doing the same thing over and over. And it's the same thing for my clients. We love growth. We love to be stretched and expanded, and we love to really challenge ourselves to see what is possible. And that's why I love strategically doing challenges in my own life and for my clients to help give you that boost of momentum and encouragement and insight for what you're here to do. And especially because November is a really great time of year. And it doesn't even matter if you're listening to this and it's not November or the end of the year. It doesn't matter when, at any point in time, you get to decide to play a bigger game of life and that you're going to be a queen who's building a bigger empire. And the fact is, when clients come into my world, they are doing things sooner and faster than 99% of other pageant gals are. They're not waiting for January 1st. They're not waiting for their next competition date. They're not waiting for permission from someone else. They want to be leaders, influencers, brand builders now. They want to share their story. They want to make a bigger impact. They want to be paid for their expertise. And that happens when you decide, I'm a queen who's going to take over. And it starts by becoming her and then building the empire that you're meant to do. And there's no one better to help you do that than me, Maria, the pageant gal, who has done it herself and has been doing it for many, many years and is going to help you do the same. So here's what to expect throughout the month of November. We are going to be dropping episodes every single week. So normally the Pageant Gal podcast comes out every other Thursday. Throughout the month of November, there's going to be double the amount of episodes for you to binge and listen to. So every single Thursday, tune in for episodes around business, around branding, around women doing insane things in and out of pageantry that are going to truly not even just expand, they're going to explode your mind with what is possible when it comes to your own power and potential on the stage and beyond it. And there's nobody doing it better than the pageant gals. Now, what is up for grabs and how do you participate in this podcast challenge with us? So it's funny, whenever I do challenges or giveaways, I always ask my clients, like, what do you guys want? I want to give you something that you would enjoy. Like, how would you like if I shipped you flowers to your home, or maybe gave a Starbucks gift card, or even bought like a really cutesy, like pink pageant gal pink basket? And everyone is like, no, Maria, we want coaching. Like, we want to work with you. That is what we want. So I'm like, fine. Don't give a girl a reason to go shopping, if you will. So, what is up for grabs is what I'm calling the Queen Takeover Intensive. This is a week of one-on-one coaching with me where we are going to be doing a 60-minute call, deep diving into your Queen Takeover plan for the new year going into 2026. We're going to map out me and you. What is it that you're here to do? What is the empire that you are here to build, pageants, business, or otherwise? And then the next step strategically, so that you're not just taking baby incremental steps, you are catapulting yourself into action and momentum even before January 1st. Then we're going to have a week of implementation in Telegram where you're not just going to be all hyped from this call and have next steps. We're actually getting you in motion right after this call in Telegram with me for 7 days. And let me tell you, it's not uncommon for my clients to really blow up their influence, their action, and their results because they're taking bigger, faster action than most people, because you're with someone who is showing you what you can do in a bigger way and helping clearly share the path for you to do that and getting you in action. Honestly, sometimes I truly do think the game of pageants and business is won just by those who are going to take action and who are going to take action now. And you'd be surprised at how many women you think are killing it and doing really big things, but honestly, they're waiting. Like, the only reason why they've done what they've done is because it's been like years in the making. And that's where my clients are newer to the industry, haven't been doing things as long, who just decide that they want to start a business 1 month and then the next month they're making their first $2,000 sale. It's not because they're some crazy unicorn, which obviously, yes, my clients are that, but it's because they have the strategy. They have someone who helps them activate the vision and decide and build their queen takeover plan. And then they become the version of her who moves for that now, who's not waiting, who's not thinking, who's not doing any of those things. And there's no better place to have that than in one-on-one mentorship with me, which is extremely valuable. And my clients pay thousands of dollars, invest thousands of dollars to work with me one-on-one. But you, my podcast listeners, you're going to get the chance to do that with me for free through the podcast challenge. So I know you're excited. You're like, I'm a queen. I'm ready to take over. I'm ready for my social medias to blow up. I'm ready for my influence to blow up. I want people messaging me saying how they look up to me. I want brands wanting to work with me. I want clients wanting to work with me. I want people asking me to fly out and speak in all of these things that my clients are already doing. Then the Queen Takeover Podcast Challenge is for you. And this is how you're going to enter. There's two ways to enter throughout the month of November. One is that you're going to leave a 5-star review. If you're listening to this on Spotify, you can leave a 5-star positive review on Spotify. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take a picture. You're going to screenshot that, send it to me, DM me at the Pageant Gal. Let me know that you have left a positive review. It helps the podcast, higher ratings, all of those good things. And also, it's so supportive, and I appreciate obviously every good review that we get. But leave a 5-star positive review on the Pageant Gal podcast on Spotify. Screenshot that, send that to me at the Pageant Gal podcast. Listen, that is 5 entries right there. 5 entries right there. Leaving a review one time. And if you've already left a review, I believe you can screenshot that you've left a review, and you can still send that to me and we will count that. Then, for every episode you share to your Instagram stories, and you tag me at the Pageant Gal with your biggest takeaway from that episode, each time you do that, you will get 10 additional entries. So we have 4 episodes, technically 5, because we can count this one. Maybe you've already gotten insight from this episode where you're thinking, oh my goodness, like Maria is saying, November is the time that we take bigger action, that we're all popping off, that we're not waiting. I'm going to freaking move for what I want now. Like, let's go. Now is the time, queens. Maybe that's your biggest takeaway. And you screenshot this and you share it to your story and you share your biggest takeaway, and then you get 10 extra entries. So you can have multiple ways to join, and you can share as many times as you want. So if you want to share 100 times and let your whole social media feed know about the Pageant Gal podcast and tell everyone to listen, you're going to get more and more entries. So the gal with the most amount of entries by the end of this challenge will win the Queen Takeover one-on-one 1-week intensive. I am so stoked. And gal, if you're listening to this and you're like, heck yes, let's go, then what I want you to do is start with the 5-star review. Let's leave it. Let's go. And also, I wanted to say throughout the next few episodes, I'm also going to be doing some shout outs on the podcast because I've been loving hearing your insights and takeaways. I want to shout out Anne-Marie Turcotte and Aria Patel. These gals have worked with me before. Aria's in the Queen Collective. Anne-Marie has been in the Make It Rain space that we have. And both of them shared their biggest takeaway from the last episode, which was they are women who are not throwing spaghetti at the wall anymore. They're not just trying to figure it out and see what sticks. They're actually here to get results. And in order to get results in pageants and business and life, it means that you can't fake it till you make it. You can't just throw things together in a lazy way and expect people to respond to you and look up to you like a queen. You have to be in a space where you're being strategic and where you're thinking like a queen, where you have a vision and you're taking action that is going to help you get those results, and a mentor who's going to help guide those actions. So thank you, ladies, for sharing this episode, for sharing your biggest takeaway with me. And if you are sharing and participating in the podcast challenge, who knows, maybe in the next episode, you will get a shout out. So keep doing that. Keep tagging me. This is the Queen's Takeover Podcast Challenge on the Pageant Gal Podcast. If you are participating, send me a message, send me a DM on Instagram, and let me know that you're excited for this, that you're in, that you're participating, that I'm going to see and experience all of your wins and insights and ahas over the next month of podcast episodes that we've got. We've got some really powerful ones that are going to truly expand your mind, expand your potential, and really just show you what is possible, because I believe in being an expander. And I believe in helping you see what is truly possible for you, because what you're doing right now, pageants or not, is just scratching the surface. And if you're like me, I've got an itch. I've got an itch to do something bigger with my life, to build an empire, to change lives around the world. I'm not talking hundreds. You know those people who are like, if I just impact one person, that would be so much. No, that's not me. I'm not, if I'm only impacting one person, I failed. Like, I'm not here to just impact one person. I'm here to impact thousands. I'm here to impact millions. That is what I'm here to do. And that is what this challenge is about. And that is what the Pageant Gal is about. We're not here to just impact one person. We're not here to just make $1 or win one crown. We're here to be the queen of our life. We're here to change the narrative of what it means to be a leader and a queen by our actions, by our impact, by our legacy. And that doesn't happen when we hide, when we stay behind the scenes, when we're only impacting one person. It happens when we set a bigger vision, when we know our initiative and our impact and what our empire is being built on, and when we step into the influence, the fame, the visibility that we know we're meant to have. And that is what we're here to help you with. So if you are in the podcast challenge, send me a message on Instagram at the Pageant Gal. Let me know that you are in. Leave a 5-star review of the podcast on Spotify. Share these episodes. Every week you're going to get an episode, a new episode of the Pageant Gal podcast, and share past episodes too. Like that still counts as well. And myself and my VA will be tracking the entries of who is going to be our Queen's Takeover giveaway winner. And of course, you're going to get a spotlight on the Pageant Gal Instagram story, and our gals around the world are going to know who you are and that we're going to get a one-on-one intensive Queen Takeover intensive together. So I cannot wait. The first podcast challenge is here. Let's go. Don't wait. We move now. We're taking over now. Now is the time. We are dominating the pageant industry. We are doing it together. And I'm so excited because this is just the beginning. So I will see you all in the next episode.